You got Trevor, you got a bunch of fish here. I'm gonna have to help you. Oh. No. There we go. There we go. Woo! Working together. All right, I'm gonna go get us another one. Ethan, you got it? All right, you're gonna start working underneath this young lady. So it's chaos on the Voyager this morning. We're bit. We're bit.
Are you on me?
We're bit.
Good job, guys. Okay, here we go. Get off right here. Right here.
We're bit. Other way, back it up. There you go. There you go, you're under. Wine. Easy.
Chaos and madness.
Bloody ducks.
Bloody ducks.
Voyager. Overnight.
Yeah.
Wine. Look at that toad, Ethan. Damn, that's an 80. Whoa. Free pool. Woo. Woo. Yes, sir. Woo. Yes, sir. Ethan, look at me. Yeah, on the Voyager, boys. Woo! Whoa, wait! Woo!
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to Surfside, California. Beautiful USA. It's so great to be with you here this morning. What a lead-in. I got to tell you, Isaac and Ethan Parcell, what a great father and team son on board the Voyager. It was really, really incredible stuff that was going on as they had limits of bluefin tuna, and Ethan doing it by himself. Congratulations on a great catch, and Dad, way to capture that in video and share it with the Friedman Adventures family. We could feel the excitement on that trip, and it's so good to see young men like Ethan catching fish. They were on a day trip on the Voyager. I'll cover that with you. Then we're going to talk about the nighttime bite last night. Thunderbird doing great out there at San Clemente Island. Also, we've got what's happening up around the Coronado Islands and in Ensenada. Some good rug fishing up there in the Channel Islands as the halibut we're nibbling, and we've got so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, my throat needed that. In case you couldn't tell, I was hurting there on the intro a little bit. And plus, my life is in peril here as I'm almost run over by a tractor again. It's crazy down here this morning. Hey, I'm joking with you. Wow, I got to do one more of these. Oh my God, thank God. And I might have to do one through the report. Hey, it is great to be with you. Thanks for joining us on the morning briefing. Just exceeded 3 million views here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. And of course, we're on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok. We're somewhere up around 10 million. If you combine all of that together, don't hold me to the 10 million. Definitely up over 8 million right now. So we are chugging along, and it's all because of you. And I can't thank you enough. Thanks, everybody. Really, really appreciate the Friedman Adventure family and could not do it without you. Make sure you hit that like button, share these videos, subscribe to the channel, tick that bell, and you'll be notified when there's more content. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All right, there's so much to get into. Let's jump into it right now. Before we do, however, let me mention we still have a little bit of room on the Horizon, a day-and-a-half trip out of H&M Landing, departing August the 15th. You can send Bill Wilkerson, captain of the boat, a message. It's just, basically say, hey, I want on that Friedman Adventures trip August 15th, and he'll book you in. 619-985-5179. All right, let's go south of the border down there in Ensenada. There's some good bluefin tuna fishing for the boys down there, but it's hit and miss. It's not every single day. They back it up with excellent rock fishing. There's also some good yellowtail action at the islands. That's Todos Santos around Punta Banda. There's been some kelp patty yellowtail. There's even been some dorado, a few caught. Just a leading edge of this El Nino that is forcing more warm water into Southern California. It's going to get incredible. It's going to change. It's going to be wild here very, very soon. There's great calico fishing around Punta Banda. I mean, you got it all right now. You can't depend on slamming the bluefin every single day, but it's pretty darn good right now. Trolling Mad Mac lures for the most part. Those halcos are also working really well down there out of Ensenada. So I hope the Pongueros are celebrating Mexico's win over Panama yesterday. That was a great win. So Viva Mexico! I will say that to my friends south of the border. As you know, I like to spend a lot of time down in that neck of the woods. There are albacore rumors that I'm not convinced are true, and I'm working on right now with Danny Cadota. We're trying to figure it out, but the rumors right now, that's about as far as I'll go. Not that far from here if they prove to be true, but you get this kind of stuff every single year, and it's what we call bum dope, unreliable information. I can't classify it as bum dope right now or the real thing, but there's a lot of rumors floating around. That's not exactly breaking news. There's always rumors around this time of year about albacore, so we're keeping our eye on it. Danny Cadota's working on some leads for you right now. We'll see how that all pans out. Last night's bluefin tuna fishing was pretty slow for the most part for the guys fishing up near San Clemente Island. There was a boat or two that had a decent hit, but overall, it was a tough night, and that happens from time to time. Fish get off the bite. In other words, they just don't want to feed. They've had enough, or they move, or there's a moon phase that's affecting them, tidal kinds of concerns. I mean, you never know why they don't bite. Now, I talked to Jacob Barclay on board the Pegasus just a moment ago, and he said, Phil, we just had a few fish. It was a tough night last night, but man, the stuff we're catching is gorgeous, big bluefin tuna, as you can see by that photo. What a nice fish. There's a lot of big fish around, and that's why you're still fishing with 100 to 130 pound spectra. You've got to fish that heavy stuff. It's got to be metered line. You have got to know the depth your jig is at. It's essential to your success. So that colored line that changes every 100 feet is so important to your success. Captain says drop, you're dropping immediately. You're dropping a little bit further from the depth that he said. He says drop 300, drop to 350, and hopefully you'll get bit on the sink. That is the way it's supposed to work, or you can get bit on the grind, but keep that in mind. You've got to know that depth, and you've got to drop when the captain says drop. So a little bit more difficult, probably going to be followed up by a crazy night here tonight. We'll see how that all pans out. These beaches, by the way, are supposed to be transformed into all kinds of glittery little fish here on the beach tonight. We have a grunion run. I just want to let you know, in Southern California and Northern Baja, great night to take the kids out and introduce them to this miracle of nature, spectacle of nature, as a grunion run will run from tonight through tomorrow night. I like the second night, and I never show up until an hour after the projected start of the run. In other words, tomorrow, let's say you go on, you Google, and you see what time exactly the grunion run. Let's say it's 10 o'clock tomorrow night. I'll be here at 11, okay? They never show up in that first hour. And then the kids lose interest, and it's a little cold and windy, and it all goes down the tubes really fast. So you show up in that second hour, more than likely you'll start seeing them within about 20 minutes and be able to have some fun. So keep that in mind. I just wanted to let you know about that. Back to our tuna bite down there in San Diego, and we got to go back to that great trip on the Voyager. There were several trips like that. A lot of limit-style fishing on the bluefin tuna. Fly line bait using 40-pound fluorocarbon. If you're catching the big grade of fish you saw Ethan catch, if you're on that 25 to 30-pound fish, 15 to 30-pound fish, 25-pound fluorocarbon, we love Option USA. www.optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and you'll get a free gift. But man, that was some fun fishing. You saw on the deck of the Voyager several fish going, and all the mayhem and craziness that was going on. And speaking of crazy, or speaking of being one heck of a lucky kid, they got in, Ethan and Isaac, from that day trip. They met our dear friends, Dan Lightfoot and Michael Limon, who's improved his grades, as you've been following with us to go fishing. They just turned around, went on a day and a half trip. They're on fish here this morning, so I suspect we're going to see more great stuff. Father and son, grandpa and son, grandpa and grandson. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see more videos. So great stuff going on. Daytime fishing's been pretty good. Apollo 19, guys, limits of bluefin tuna, 2 yellowfin tuna. Starting to see more YFT. In fact, the Apollo on their previous trip had 30 yellowfin tuna. So really stuff is starting to bite, starting to settle in, and we are seeing some really good signal again here this morning. Remember, that fluoro is really important. Choosing a good hot bait, really, really important. Changing that bait regularly, super, super important. So keep that in mind, and that's really going to work well for you all. So some really good fishing. Now, as I mentioned to you all the time, some guys miss. Most of the guys are getting in on some excellent bluefin tuna fishing. The fish stand off Mexico, the daytime fish, predominantly that 15 to 30 pound fish. The San Clemente Island fish that didn't bite all that well last night are that big grade fish, that fish that gets up to over 200 pounds in some cases. So really, really good stuff. I've got this lovely dog. You can't see it, but coming over to say hello to me. All right, maybe you will be able to see it in a second here. So once again, some really good daytime fishing, but that nighttime fish took a powder on us. Now back down toward Mexico, we'll go and we'll talk the Coronado Islands for one moment. Good barracuda, bonita going on there. Few yellowtail. We'd like to see more of that. Some really good calico bass fishing. In fact, I've got to mention the new Seaforth locally down in San Diego. Really good calico bass fishing. That is nice to see that going on right now. We take a look at San Clemente Island, and out there, the Thunderbird is having a dream 2.5 day trip. I mean, it is awesome. 2.5 day trip, 100 plus on the yellowtail. They've got 4 bluefin tuna on that trip. One of them a $1.50, so big grade fish up in that neck of the woods. They're having a fabulous trip, and all kinds, copious amounts of colorful and wonderful eating rockfish. So that is great news, and things couldn't be going much better than they are right now. Up there in the Channel Islands, let me just jump up and then I'll come back to Cat here in a second. The rug fishing on the Endeavor, check it out, man. Good halibut fishing up there. We see the halibut, we see the barracuda, we see the bonita out there. We see some really good surface action. It has been really, really excellent fishing that has been going on, and we continue to see that as the tractor is back trying to interrupt the morning briefing. I'll say good morning to the gentleman who is driving that tractor. All right, so once again, some really good fishing up in the Channel Islands. I don't think we're over with the white sea bass quite yet. The Island Spirit up there yesterday, 3/4 day boat with our great friend Cody Rogers. Cody doing it again with 34 guys, 109 bonita, 27 barracuda, 8 calico bass, a halibut, 12 whitefish, a sheep's head, and a partridge in a pear tree. I couldn't resist. Pretty bad. I know, my voice is really screwed up. Catalina Island, we continue to see some bonita, some barracuda, halibut, sea bass, just kind of scratching at it. The yellows, the sea bass, the halibut, every other trip for the sport boats, but we continue to see some really good action in terms of private boaters at Cat who can be a little more stealth and really get the job done. Incidentally, remember Pat Whitaker and the bait boat that was going to provide bait, and then they had an emergency and they are doing repairs on the boat right now. They're getting ready to get that boat all repaired, but it might be a week or two. We'll keep you informed on that and when you can get bait at Catalina Island once again, so we'll keep our eyes on it. The local barracuda fishing has been really excellent. Check out Devon Graham Sr. with a bunch of barracuda. Nice hit for him. And again, we see the Victory, the Enterprise, the Monte Carlo, the Native Son, the Pursuit. All these guys have the option to fish the garden. There's also some okay calico bass and sand bass fishing going on in that neck of the woods. So we do have that going on in addition to that. Those gar on the surface iron, that's the best way to take those things. I love a single hook Tatty C. That's my preference. Mint, blue and white. I don't think color is all that important, but that is something to keep in mind. Now, I mentioned that we're going to have a grunion run on these beaches as the sun feels so good this morning. It's a glorious morning to be walking on the beach or enjoying this pristine and beautiful Eastern Pacific that we are so blessed with. And in the surf, we've been seeing some good fishing. Mike Armenta, good barred perch fishing for Mike. And he mentioned the guy next to him had a striper. And then there's a couple photos of Mike with, I believe it's his son, with some stripers. I'm not sure if he caught stripers yesterday or not. Mike, help me out with a comment down below. And I apologize for my poor reporting here this Monday morning. But there's been stripers in the surf. Not sure exactly where because those boys don't want you to know, and I don't blame them. But there's been good barred perch here. There's been some yellowfin croaker. Now I'm talking the Huntington Beach area, surrounding areas like that. And we've also seen a little bit of halibut. And you will see that during grunion runs quite often. So, hey, good morning. How are you? I should get a shot of your dog. So cute, right? Let me do that. All right. I've got a live audience here this morning. Thank you so much. All right. And he's not bugging me at all. Don't worry about it.
What are you doing, buddy?
All right. There goes the only live audience I've ever had here on the beach, and they're leaving. They've had enough of me already. All right, my friends. Once again, there is some good fishing going on. I wish Isaac and Ethan and Dan and Michael Limon, I hope they're out there catching and really having a lot of fun. It's a glorious morning here in SoCal, and there's a lot going on. And we intend to keep you in touch with the very, very latest. Don't forget, you can go through the thousands of videos here on Friedman Adventures. You can find tackle tips. You can listen to your favorite captain. You can get old-timers who've been on here and check that out also. Time to send some thoughts and love and prayers to our dear Eddie Leland, Captain Eddie Leland, in that battle with cancer. We want to send him all our best and let him know the Friedman Adventure family really love him. Hey, we've decided, we're putting it into play. We have thousands of pieces of clothing that you donated to us to send to Mexico. We've shipped that all down to Cedros Island, and we may be handing that out in the next few days. I'm starting to think I don't need to be there to hand it out. Let's get it into the hands of the people. And Diego Nuno and his lovely family and his mother are going to help put that into play. I'll keep you up to date on that. What a great way to celebrate Mexico's win, huh? Hand out a bunch of stuff like that. That would be really a dream come true. You made that happen. You are the ones who made the donations. I get to play Santa Claus. That's all I do. So in this case, it's going to be Diego's mom playing Santa Claus. And it's just so wonderful to be hooked up with so many great people like you. Hey, one more thing here. I almost forgot. We got a 2.5-day trip. And when I say we have a 2.5-day trip, my good friend Ernie has a 2.5-day trip on board the Amigo, leaving on August the 8th. August the 8th, that trip sails. And 2.5 days on the Amigo is going to be great. Ernie is such a lovely human being, a great guy, a wonderful person who you'll enjoy fishing with. If you're looking for that private charter atmosphere on a great boat that fishes hard in a season that just keeps getting better and better, give Ernie a call or send him a text, get the details on the trip, and grab the last couple of spots that are available. It is 714-401-8773. All right, we're gaining in popularity. As you can see, I had a live audience today. That dog lasted at least 30 seconds listening to me drone on. And as always, I deeply appreciate all you do. Hit it 3 million views, well over 250,000 hours consumed by all of you, hundreds of thousands of likes and everything else. Man, I don't know how to thank you. I sincerely do not. So I send you all my very, very best. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon.